And this woman said, look, this is going to be the kinkiest phone call you've ever had. She said, I am in the middle of having sex. And it is absolutely phenomenal. All I can do is say thank you. And you gave me that card that said, expect a miracle. And she said, I'm experiencing the miracle now. And I can only say thank you. And I said, well, there's some poor bloke at work there, is it? Did you have him stop work? And she said, yes, I did. She thinks I'm crazy, calling my chiropractor in the middle. And I said, yeah, well, just quit now, go back to work, have some enjoyment, and I'll see you tomorrow. And she came back in to see me. And I only saw her that day because end of that week, I planned for a long time to move out of clinical practice and to move into a mentoring, coaching, consulting role that we've been doing full-time since 1994. A number of years later, in July, for this psychic friend, she used to have a Christmas in July party. And I was always Santa Claus. So I was dressed up in my Santa Claus suit and I was handing presents to the children. They had to come and sit on my knee and tell me a story, and I gave them a gift. And these two little boys, the last two children were two boys, 3 and 4, were around that age, one on each knee, and I talked to them and gave them gifts and things, and off they went. And I finished my duties as Santa Claus and went and got dressed. And I came back out to the party area, and this woman called me over, and I knew her face, but I couldn't place who she was. And she said, you're struggling with who I am, aren't you, John? I said, absolutely. And she said, gave me a name, and said, I'm the one who called you. I said, aha. I said, I understand. And she said, what I need to tell you was, the real miracle of this whole thing is that those 2 little boys you had on your lap, they're my sons. And at 29, I thought I was destined to be a spinster. Never have a relationship and never have children. And I have these most beautiful children now. And the man she was standing there, I said, were you the bloke who was there that night performing, and she stopped you in the middle of the act and said, hang on, I'm going to phone my chiropractor and thank him. And he said, I was the one. I said, you're a good man. So they both gave me a hug, and I said, great. And she said, that little card, they're my miracles. This is my miracle. Thank you for being part of it.
So you've been handing out miracle cards for 21 years now? Is that right?
I have.
And how many do you think you've handed out?
Over 50,000, personally.
And if people feel drawn to want to hand out cards themselves, how would they do that? How would they go about it?
Well, people will often say, well, where do you get these? I said, well, just go to the printer and have them made. Now, if they go to our website, www.expect-a-miracle.net, they can go and print them off. It says print your own Expect a Miracle cards, and you can put card into your printer and it just prints off pages and you just chop them up. So it's very, very easy. The amazing thing is, and to me, a huge secret of this card is on the back is nothing. It's blank. And almost every time I give someone a card, the first thing they do is turn the card over. They say there's nothing on the back. I say, well, do you want a miracle or not? What is it you want? But you don't have your name on here. I said, do you need my name to receive a miracle? Or do you just want the miracle? Well, most people say, I want the miracle.
And you have a book, your book it's just been released?
It's just been released this month, yeah. They can buy the book from our website. They can buy the book off Amazon. Executive Books, it'll be in the bookstore shortly. And it's right now, being in September, I've started to take forward orders from people. I'm having people buying case lots of 60 as Christmas gifts. And I just so want this to get out there that people can get if they buy them from our website, they can get a 50% discount on a case of books. And I had a beautiful email from somebody this morning from Australia who had received a flyer in the mail, And he said, this flyer is a miracle. He said, every year at this time, I look for my Christmas gift for my best clients, the ones who really care about me and I care about them. I always make my Christmas gift different. I couldn't think, what can I do this year? And this flyer came. I thought, wow, thank you. This is my miracle. And it's just about spreading the word. It's amazing sometimes you don't even have feedback from people about what's happened. And people come and tell you some amazing things. This is a beautiful little story in an Asian food restaurant that opened up near us. And it was been open a couple of weeks, and we went into this was an area we were living in the country. And we had some food, and it was delightful food. And the next week I was coming home from the gym, and Judy phoned me. She said, look, can you call in? I've ordered some food at the, was called Happy Friends Asian restaurant. She said, could you call in and collect the food? And I said, sure. So I called in to collect the food. Now, this week before we had a meal there, the owner was a husband and wife, and the husband was the chef with others he had cooking, and the wife was waiting on tables and filled the sort of maitre d' role. And I gave her an Expect a Miracle card, and she said, oh, what this miracle? What this? What this? So it took me probably 10 minutes to explain to this lady in her broken English what a miracle was. She said, oh, very good, very good. So I turn up next week to collect the food. When I walk in, the place is really busy. And she says, oh, Mr. Miracle Man, Mr. Miracle Man, you come, you come. So she gets the food. She takes me around and introduces me to everybody on every table. I said, this Mr. Miracle Man, this Mr. Miracle Man. And she was just elated. And often I've found in my experience, in Australia we have a lot of Asian people living. They're generally not very demonstrative in public, as much as European background people are. They're quite reserved. And she was very demonstrative with everybody there. And I went back and collected my food. She wouldn't allow me to pay. She gave me this beautiful bottle of special champagne as well. I said, this gift for you, Mr. Miracle Man, this gift for you. And they sold that restaurant 18 months later. We would go to the restaurant. To this day, I have no idea what the miracle was. But something happened in her family, and they were just elated about it. And she says, oh, that card, Mr. Miracle Man, that makes a difference. And what it is, I see, people then have an expectation. Something changes. Something allows them to see past their narrow little box they're in to something that's absolutely broad and brings in the universe, brings in other things that allows them to experience something way beyond what it is that they would receive normally.
If you could imagine the biggest miracle for yourself, your family, for this planet, what would that be?
What would my biggest miracle be? Well, it's already happening. I have a most beautiful wife of 41 years this year, and we have 3 beautiful children who were miracles. We found them in 1985 in orphanages in Chile. They were older children, 7.5, 9 and 10.5, who were abandoned. And our sons were mute. And our daughter had led a very difficult life in another orphanage. They came to join us, and they're now in their early 30s. Very beautiful people. We could never have any children. And they're a